difficulty to attract enough investments that drive and will fill the gap that I portrayed a minute ago. Also, energy efficiency measures are sometimes self-repaying. They have an amortization that goes fast if done right, and there are schemes available that are definitely both for private investors or a private company as well as governments very interesting to pursue. We as EVN are certainly further investors and buyers in the region of Southeastern Europe. We are currently constructing two large hydropower plants in Albania. We are currently constructing a combined generation facility in Plovdiv in Bulgaria. So we are investing roughly 1 billion euros at the moment in generation capacity across the region in various countries. We have also rebuilt our hydro power stations in Macedonia, so small hydropower stations in Macedonia, and are certainly further interested in the whole region as such to expand generation. And one thing I should also mention, we are currently also constructing a gas supply in 3 regions in Croatia, a greenfield gas supply that we are building up and that will be connected to some of the major gas pipelines running through Croatia. In that way, I'm very interested then to hear what our Serbian colleagues will have to say. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wallner, thank you very much for interesting insight. Are there any direct questions to this talk? Max, please.
You mentioned the legal framework is very important, the government side is very important in this region. And you mentioned you are doing have a big investment in Albania. And what is your experience in Albania?
Well, we do see a very positive investment climate in Albania. In fact, we are seeing very stable regulatory and legal environments. Things that have been agreed with the government are then working out. That's not an experience that we share with all the countries where we have been active in or are active. So, no, we do have a very positive view on Albania.
Where are the negative countries?
Look, this is when you're doing electricity supply for a country, of course, you have a particular impact on the people, on the governments, and privatization of such a strategic asset, I would say, for a country is not always easy. So this is the background that's a current thing that is present with a lot of these kind of huge capital investments. Of course, legal security increases once a country is part of the European Union. Legal security also increases when countries have signed a so-called bilateral investment protection agreement or are part, for example, like Macedonia or Albania, are part of the energy community in the energy sector. So this certainly helps to have some kind of investment securitization before you enter a country. However, that notwithstanding, we did have some experience in Macedonia and are currently trying to find a way out with the government into a legal battle that has been started by them. And we are also trying in Bulgaria our best to get along with all kind of political movements that are coming up and down with elections.
Okay. Zelko?
Yes, my question would be regarded to Macedonia, to the investments in Macedonia. What amortization period does EVN consider concerning such a huge investment? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
No, all these investments, be it in the electricity distribution when you buy a network, or when you invest in a power plant, have a very long lifetime and amortization span in general. And we also view this as a long-term strategic investment where you don't see returns in the first years. Taking the example of Macedonia, of course, when you buy a state-run company with quite an outdated grid infrastructure, network infrastructure, you first have to invest to get the infrastructure into a good shape, and driven by the electricity, the price of electricity can only rise as much as the economic growth is happening, because people cannot otherwise afford to pay for the electricity. So the affordability of electricity, the purchasing power of the people, of the society is part. And of course, being part of the European Union helps to spur up investments in a country and to get economic growth at a higher level.
Is it possible to get the investment back in, let's say, 10 years? Is it realistic? Or?
There are options. As I say, what looks easy on the surface is maybe not so easy in the detail in real life. However, yes, there are returns, but 10 years seems a quite ambitious plan to pay back the whole investment. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we should move on. Now I open the floor for two young guys, Svetomir Stevic and Stevan Krucic. They are water and solar energy consultant, wind energy consultant from Columbus Academic Group, Serbia. And I'm looking forward to hear your talks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Max. First of all, it's moving. First of all, I would like to thanks to Max Rettenweder for a great symposium and his efforts to include it. Also, Mrs. Slađana Brajović is not with us today. She is unfortunately ill, and we would like to thank her also. She made a great efforts for us to be here with you. I would like to say that we have one research done, and if you're interested in it, we have executive summary of energy potential of Republic of Serbia. There are some copies there, and you can have it later.
Sorry. You must.
Okay, my name is Svetomir Stevic. My colleague is Stefan Ćurčić. We work together in energy team of Serbia, and during next 19 hours we will discuss about renewable energy sources in Serbia. So, okay. Everything okay? Okay. So, Serbia is aware of its potential in energy. So we have limited coal resources, and our main electrical power production is based on thermal power plants, over 60% of it. So we are aware of pollution and of limited resources. Therefore, in the year of 2005, we started to follow EU standards, and the first move was to reorganize the national power company into two companies, so we can open the market for foreign investors. Two directives of EU Energy Agency were adopted. You can see them. by them, we are obligated to make efforts of renewable energy sources to be realistic in our energy production. Okay. So installed power, of total installed power in power system of Serbia is over 8,000 megawatts, and it's only about 56% of installed power in Austria. As you can see, over 60% of total installed power are in thermal power plants, and their average age is about 22 years. Main energent is lignite, which is very low, which has a very low energy efficiency, and also we have hydropower plants, which are only 34% of total installed power, and they are very old with average age of 36 years. And as you can see, only 59% of water potential is exploited. So 70% of whole production is based on thermal power plants, and you can see that consumption of electrical power in Serbia is growing and pretty much fast. From a couple of years, 8 years, it grew in almost over 5,000 gigawatt hours. Rise of consumption is based according to macroeconomic parameters. As you can see, households are dominant category with over 50% of consumption. Just to compare, to developed country, over 60% of energy is consumed by industrial sector. So we have 2.7% of group of consumption in industrial sector, and it is going to be bigger and bigger. Conditions in Serbian power system are pushing renewable energy sources as the priority, and therefore we at the end of 2009 we adopted feed-in tariffs, which are special tariffs for electrical energy produced in renewable energy sources. And also we have decreasing losses in distributive sector, power plants and other system objects, and decreasing price of electrical energy, because currently only 6 euro cents costs 1 kilowatt hour, which is very low comparing to EU. To conclude, we have ensure rising of consumption, so it's open market, very attractive to invest to. We have required investments in revitalization, in old power plants, also building new power plants, and I think it's a great position in region. Serbia has a great position in region for power trade. Okay, so renewable energy sources have potential over 50 gigawatt hours per year. Just to compare, Serbia has a consume of 36 gigawatt hour of product during 1 year. So renewable energy sources have a bigger potential than Serbia can consume. It makes Serbia very attractive to invest in renewable energy sources. Also, we have an aim to make 2.2% of production in RIS until 2012. Potentials are not properly used. As you can see, biomass is making, let's say, 63% of whole RIS potentials, and we almost don't have any kind of production in that sector. Only hydropower plants are currently well used. Hydropower plants hydropower in Serbia is very attractive to invest in. As you can see, there are over 1,000 locations which are suitable for installing small hydropower plants. The number of 856 relates to location